The 910 Comedy
Podcast Network.
Welcome to Marital Tiffs, where we invite you into our marriage to debate the not so important topics, discuss each other, and more. I'm Tim.
I'm Karen.
And we're a couple of married geeks who often get very passionate when we discuss the super important topics like our favorite TV shows, personality traits, and whether a rich AP level student quarterback exists or is a figment of Yahoo's imagination.
They're real. They are real.
I don't think they are.
Why?
Because most quarterbacks don't do their own homework, let alone have time for AP level AP level classes.
That is a little bit of a reductive assumption.
Oh, there are smart quarterbacks. They don't have time for AP level classes.
Well, we were just talking about this in last week's episode that we talked about a number of things that people posed on Yahoo, and among all of them, Tim had the biggest disbelief and problem with the fact that someone had like a crush on this like quarterback senior rich guy AP student.
Yeah.
She wanted like him to get her pregnant, but like that, the description of him was the most astounding thing to Tim.
Yeah. It feels like forever since we recorded that episode.
It kind of does.
This week's been a long one.
Time moves a little differently these days.
How you doing?
Good. We started watching this show called American Gods.
I think we talked about it last week.
We did not, because we were just like one or two episodes in last week.
Oh.
So it's weird.
It is very strange.
It's
gotten really good.
It doesn't make sense at all until about 6 or 7 episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a Neil Gaiman,
which explains a lot.
It's based off of his, I don't know if it's a series or one book.
I think it's just one book.
We both really enjoyed his like Norse mythology book, but that was a little bit less, I don't know, that was like more of the actual stories of Norse gods.
Right.
Rather than like a fiction, well, it's all fiction, but like a like fictional account of like their coming to America. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's a very weird show if you happen to have stars, which we do on accident. And
no, not on accident.
It is an accident.
No, it's an accident that we still have it.
Yeah. I got it like
2 months ago.
Yeah, my friend had come to visit, and we really just wanted to watch like some old movies that we really liked when we were kids, like Fern Gully and stuff. And the only place we could find it was on Stars. And it was like, I don't know, 11 o'clock. And I'm like, it's a good idea. We should just get Stars for the night and we'll just watch these movies. And then we forgot to cancel. So we decided to take advantage, and we're watching American Gods. And oh my gosh, we've been talking about it for like 3 minutes. And I'm so sorry if you're not interested in that, but that is what we've been up to this week.
Yeah. But what are we talking about this week?
This week, it is just now September. We're recording this on September 2nd.
Yep.
I don't know what day it'll come out. The 5th, I think.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday, Dan. And over the month of August, we have had some smaller tiffs. I wanted to call them micro-tiffs that I don't think are like enough to dedicate an entire episode to. But I thought we could like discuss maybe 3 or 4 of the little things that we've kind of had disagreements over, let's say, and then hopefully, get some people on our side.
Okay, so what's our first one?
So the first one is a little bit of a self-roast here. You may recall, I don't even know how many episodes ago, probably near the beginning of when we started listening. So if you've been listening to us for a second, then you may recall us talking about some different things we've been doing around the house. And one of the things that I asked Tim to agree with me on, which he did but didn't like it, was moving our laundry hamper into the laundry area.
Which is across the house.
Away from our bedroom. And
across the house.
He said, if we do this, the clothes are going to end up all over the floor. And I said, no, it'll be fine. And I'm kind of admitting right now that has kind of been what's happened.
And you're more guilty about it than I am. Like, I do definitely leave the clothes on the floor.
I don't know
But occasionally my clothes end up in the hamper.
Hold on. I don't know how you can say I'm more guilty of it when I sometimes don't change clothes for like a couple days. Like, I work from home. I'm in my pajamas for like,
as a percentage of clothes.
For 2 to 3 days at a time. Tim, this is what Tim does, everyone. Let me just paint you a little picture, okay? He gets up in the morning, puts his pajamas on the floor, whatever he wore to bed that night.
Yeah.
He puts on his work clothing.
Yes.
He comes home from work. He changes into, I don't know, a different set of lounging around the house.
Usually
clothing.
the same pants.
Not always.
Different shirt, but usually the same pants.
Not always. And he puts that on. And then when we go to bed, he's been wearing the shirt for, 3 hours, 4 hours?
More like 5.
And that ends up on the floor. So if we're talking about amount here, okay.
No, I'm talking as a percentage of your clothing. 100% of your clothes end up on the floor. Like 90% of mine end up on the floor.
Okay, but to be fair, when we had the hamper straight up in
they
our bedroom.
They still ended up on the floor.
Straight up, I don't know, 4 feet away from my side of the bed. They still ended up on the floor.
Yeah, you know how I could have predicted this? Because when it was 1.5 feet from your bed in the apartment, it still ended up on the floor. Or the bathroom, or the living room, or the office.
Tim, don't expose me.
I think I've already explained this one when we talked about it last time.
Yeah.
But
so we've had a little interesting, I've had to kind of have a come to Jesus with Tim about it. And yeah, so I'm roasting myself on that one there.
yeah, I definitely won that tiff.
Here's
it's
what
not going to change anything because I'm sure you're not going to put it back into the bedroom.
Here's what I need.
But
really.
I was right.
Here's what I really need. I need a laundry chute that is next to my bed where the clothes go directly. You put them in a chute. It goes down downstairs into a little laundry basket.
Uh-huh. But we don't have a 2-story house.
Well, that's this is what I need in order to have us live harmoniously without clothing on the floor. This is what I need. You need one on your side. I need one on my side.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I had one of those growing up, actually.
Did you?
Not in my bedroom, but in our hallway.
Yeah. My grandparents' house had one too. And I really liked it. I think they're cool.
2 different houses, actually.
But yeah, you knew what you married. Whose fault is it really?
Yeah, I did. I really, really did, guys. And yeah, I don't regret marrying you. I regret, marrying that aspect of you.
It's my only flaw, obviously.
Sure, as we're about to find out.
What's the next one?
You want to talk about, the date?
The date?
Yeah, it's September 2nd. Uh-huh. And you made it to 7. I don't think you even made it to 7 a.m. on September 1st before you even brought up the idea of fall decorations.
Okay, listen. Have you actually been out to the shed to get our fall decoration boxes? No, you haven't.
No, because I've been at work.
Have I asked you to go get it after work? No, I haven't, because I'm trying to not be totally wild about it. But I don't think that's too crazy. Here's what drives me crazy. Here's really what is the problem about decorating for the holidays. Tim is normally an extremely lenient person when it comes to my ideas or my whims for decorating and things like that. But he's very strict with me about when we decorate for Christmas.
Yes.
He's very strict and very unbending, which is he will not allow me to decorate for Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the problem.
The reason that you want to decorate for Christmas early is because you want to decorate for fall early.
No,
so you're burned out on fall decorations well before Thanksgiving even gets here.
No, the problem is that this year and last year, Thanksgiving will have fallen after the 25th of November.
It's
so that
the 26th this year.
So that it's less than a month to be able to enjoy your Christmas decoration. You're making fun of me for wanting to decorate for fall now, but you would allow me to decorate for fall now. You will not allow any type of addendum to your strict contract of not allowing me.
I don't want to get burned out on Christmas.
You are so by like December, I want to say like 18th. You're like, if I hear another Christmas song.
People start them too early. I am sorry. I am adamant on this one. And yes, I am pounding the table. So I'm sorry if that hurts your ears, listeners. But Christmas music does not need to be played on November 1st.
But like, why is fall allowed to, at this point, essentially be up for like 3 months? If I have my way and I put up fall
you
now.
mean a 3-month season is allowed to be decorated for 3 months?
Well, fall actually ends in December.
I'm aware, but that's, when you decorate for Christmas.
But it's not only Christmas things that I have. It's also wintry things in there. Like I have a lot of like snowflakey things. And that's not Christmas specific, but you still will not allow me to put up that decorations until after Thanksgiving.
You realize that your argument is that I should allow you to decorate for a season earlier than that season comes.
My argument is be consistent with when you allow decorations to be in the home.
I am consistent. In fact, I'm even more lenient on the winter decorations if you really think about it, because if the holiday doesn't start until like the 20th or 20th, the season doesn't start until the 20th or 21st, you get more time with your winter decorations than you do with your fall decorations.
No, because you want the Christmas decorations down by New Year's.
Yeah, but not the winter decorations.
Well, I'm just going to say Epiphany ends in January, so that the Christmas decorations can stay up a little bit longer.
The Saturday after New Year's is when Christmas decorations come down. But winter decorations can stay up.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I don't want winter decorations to be up forever. I want to be able to enjoy Christmas and winter decorations.
And really, it's not even the Christmas decorations. It's just the tree.
What about the tree?
The tree comes down after New Year's.
So, okay, can we compromise then? Can we put up all of the Christmas decorations like mid-November except for the tree?
Is Thanksgiving in mid-November?
Oh my God. Let's do the next argument.
What is the next argument?
Please agree with me on this one, please. Give me this one. I admitted to the first one, but give me this one about Christmas and fall. Okay, so the next one isn't really even like, it's kind of funny because, okay, I'm my preamble here basically is all to say, Tim makes fun of me and I make fun of him for this one really specific thing that I feel like a lot of people can resonate with, which is I like to eat my ramen with a fork, like ramen noodles with a fork, and Tim likes to eat his with a spoon. And Tim very kindly, very often makes my ramen for me whenever it's not that often that we eat it, but whenever we do eat it, he makes it for me. And he always brings me a spoon, which I want a fork.
Ramen is a soup. Soups are eaten with spoons so that you can get the broth with it.
You like to drain yours way more than I like mine to be drained. Like the way you eat your ramen is basically noodles. Okay. So,
but there's still broth in there that I get with my spoon.
But like you could like just put it. You could just put the bowl up to your mouth and like drink the broth
at the same time as the noodles.
No, you like eat all the noodles first and then.
No, but I like the broth with the noodles because the broth doesn't actually absorb into the noodles all that much. The broth is where the flavor comes from on ramen.
If I'm eating like a chicken noodle soup where there's like a lot of elements and the noodles are, small, then yeah, I want a spoon. But the noodles of ramen are like really, really long. So if you don't have a fork where you can like twirl up your noodles, then it just like falls out of the bowl. It gets all over your clothes. It's like...
I never get ramen on my clothes.
Well, aren't you just a Mr. Fancy Pants? But you don't get as many noodles that way also. Like I like a hunk of noodles.
Oh, I get a mouthful of noodles.
Have you ever tried eating ramen with a fork?
No, because I'm not a crazy person.
It's not that weird. Like when you eat ramen in like a restaurant...
You use chopsticks.
Okay, but like what I'm saying is they find it to be...
I've never gone to a ramen restaurant.
They find it fully acceptable if you like drink the broth out of the bowl. Yeah. Like that is totally normal.
And I do at the end, but I also like the broth with my noodles.
I mean, you can You can maneuver it that way, I guess. If you have like a fork, like you can take a drink of broth and then like have
Next time you have
noodles.
tomato soup, I'm going to give you a fork.
Why?
Because you like to eat your soups with forks.
Not all. No, just that's the only one.
When you make your soup, I'm giving you a fork.
No, because that's a soup.
So is ramen.
Ramen is like 75% noodles and long noodles too. Like
Ramen is soup.
When you go to a Chinese restaurant or a Japanese restaurant and they hand you chopsticks and you're like, oh, I'd rather have a utensil. What do they give you?
I don't know.
A fork.
I wouldn't know.
So if you eat ramen with chopsticks and they're like, oh, actually, I don't want chopsticks or whatever. What is the most common utensil they're going to hand you when you say, I don't want chopsticks to eat my food? It's a fork.
Spoon.
It's a fork. A fork. If you are a spoon ramen eater, I would.
This is definitely going to be a series of polls on the Facebook page.
I would implore you to eat your ramen with a fork and tell me how much better it is. Like, it is so much better. Tim thinks I'm crazy, but
You are.
what we have one more, right? What's the last one?
I think so. Let me look here.
We actually took notes this time, you guys. Aren't you proud of us?
Annoying sleeping habits.
Okay.
I don't. Oh, are we talking about the elbow or the knee?
The knee. Okay, so we have a fabric headboard that has like
It's perfectly divided.
It's a detail in the middle, the exact middle of the headboard. Yeah, that's a seam. And so Tim will reference this.
It is right in the middle of the headboard. It is a clear division between halves.
Tim references this seam, you guys, so frequently. He'll make like a chopping karate motion on the bed, and like his fingers will hit where the seam is, and he's like, "You're on my side."
Well, I already don't get much of a side.
That's not even true. That's not. Oh my God, that is not true. The way he looked at me just now was like,
There's your 60% of the bed,
okay.
Oz's 20%, and my 20%.
Oz does not sleep in the bed with us, really, ever.
Only because I would only have like 20% of the bed.
Okay, the thing is that you also knew about me from like since you knew me is I am a starfish sleeper. Like, I sleep on my stomach, and I sleep with like one side.
She sleeps in what's called, I think, the humping position.
The who?
I've seen that referenced in pictures where you're kind of like knee up on your side / belly.
Well, I never. But yeah, I sleep on my stomach, and I sleep with like one side of my body is like straight, like my arm is down, my leg is down, but then the other side, and it changes like whatever I'm feeling that night. One side, like my arm is like in a crooked position.
And your knee is on my side.
And the knee is like also a little bit up. So
on my side.
Not always. Sometimes I sleep with my...
And then your foot's on my side.
But like Tim doesn't understand because Tim sleeps on his side. He's a side
I sleep
sleeper.
however I can fall asleep, but...
Oh, please. Please. You want to tell me that when you were single... You got the, like, freedom of, like, what? Sleeping on your back, sleeping on your stomach.
I slept however I could fall asleep.
And now you don't get that because you're in bed with me? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Please. Since I've known you, you've been a side sleeper.
When I met you, I had a queen-size bed to myself. Mm-hmm. Now I have a queen-size bed that I share with you and the dog and the cat. And
Well, they don't sleep in bed with us. It's just you and me. We've had a queen bed our entire relationship.
I'm aware.
Tim wants a king so bad.
I really do. I'd go California king.
No, that's excessive. Like, that's way too much.
You think that because you're short.
I am short.
My feet hang off the edge of the bed.
That sucks.
A California king would resolve that.
That is excessive, Tim. I don't know. When we win the lottery...
I'm sorry that my 6-foot frame is excessive to you.
When we win the lottery, okay, we'll get you a California king or whatever.
Yeah, let's get right on that.
Tim, and when we're talking about annoying sleeping habits, Tim likes to... He doesn't really anymore, but he used to say, like, how much I snored. he would say like, "Oh, you're such a snorer. You are the worst snorer." Except for the fact that I believe you. I believed you when you said like, "Oh, you snore a lot." But when I tell you, you're like, impossible. No, absolutely not.
I never said impossible.
Okay.
But to be fair, I haven't complained about you snoring because you usually go to bed after I do.
But when
usually,
you are such a loud snorer that I have to literally wake you up to tell you to roll over or something so that you'll stop for a sec so I can fall asleep.
I don't recall that, actually.
That's because you're probably in like REM sleep or something like that. But
well,
I literally...
No wonder I don't sleep well.
Oh my God.
Waking me up.
I can't fall asleep.
I'm snoring.
I cannot.
Put some headphones in.
That's dangerous.
Why?
Well, we have our like the wireless ones. What if they fall out? Y'all, my S Pen fell out while I was sleeping at some point, and I had no idea. It took me like 2 days, and Tim finally found it for me.
Wait, so what's dangerous about wireless ones?
If the earbud falls out and it's like next to my mouth or something, I could like suck it in or something. I don't know. It could be like lodged in my eyeball. Dude, I don't know. It's dangerous.
You're dangerous.
You'd rather put me in danger than wake up.
And sleep with wired earphones.
We don't have any.
Yes, we do.
We don't.
We do.
Where?
I think I have some in my computer bag, actually.
That's not comfortable. What?
Don't say. And you just got some, I'm sure, with your new phone.
I haven't looked at them, actually. But they're not comfortable to wear. You want me to wear headphones?
Sure, why
so
not?
that you don't have to turn over?
I want you to wear headphones so you don't disrupt my sleep.
You don't even know that I disrupt your sleep. You have no idea.
But yet I wake up tired every morning.
You're always so polite, too. When I say, like, can you please turn over? You're like, yes, of course, baby. I love you. It's very sweet.
Aww. What else do we got? Anything?
I think that's it for now, or all that we want to share, at least. We probably will have a little bit more content here as the holidays come up. In our first house, it's the first holidays in our house. Like we
moved in like a week before Christmas.
We were in the house before Christmas, but we were way too exhausted to.
Yeah, we didn't even bother with Christmas tree or anything.
So now that we own a home and
I'm sure there'll be some like real versus fake and.
Oh, you guys already know how I stand on real versus fake trees. Real all the way. Real all the way.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of Marital Tiffs.
Are you guys driving each other crazy, you and your significant other in quarantine, in this climate of everything going on right now? Even if they're little tiny tiffs that you want to share about and get off your chest, then you can head on over and let us know about them.
You can weigh in on all social media at Marital Tiffs on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also email us at maritaltiffs@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe anywhere you find your podcast. And if you're an Apple Podcast listener, please rate and review us. You can find us on the 910 Comedy Podcast Network. Check out 910 Comedy on Facebook and check out our sister shows, That's Just My Face, Hometown Crowd, and Dead Girls Talking. Thanks for listening to Marital Tiffs.